my last ever trip to ACMoore, and my heart's breaking.
Okay, where am I putting these? Hey.
And the line goes all the way to the end of the store. Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns podcast. And you've seen the last trip to ACMoore, sort of. It's a little view of what it was like in the store. A lot of all the Christmas items, decorations are gone. They still have quite a bit of stuff that's in there. And of course, you know, the liquidators have come in, and when the liquidators come in, they jack the prices up, and then they give you a percentage off. For those of you that don't know that, that's how liquidation firms work. They come in and they will jack the prices up, usually a little higher than what they normally are. The only thing that was not increased in price was the yarn. Yarn and those tools, those were all pretty much what they consider their regular prices when they're not on sale. And then you got the additional 25% off. My husband goes in looking for paint things, and when he was over there, the paints have been totally decimated. All the art paint, the acrylics, everything, oils, all of that. And one of the gals that works there saw him, and she's seen him there several times, and she said they had two ladies that came in right before the liquidation started the day before, and cleaned them completely out. And she said they figured that they'll probably be selling those things either online or through eBay or Etsy or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty sad to see it that way. But I have quite a bit of a yarn haul. I have several things that I've gotten, so I'm going to show you those. And Saturday, the day that I didn't get anything up, we had gone to Joann's because I needed to get some more of the Red Heart with Love and the berry for my sweater. So I got a couple of those for that. Then I also got the 2 skeins of Bernat Pipsqueak. And someone had asked if the Premier's Lion Brand's Basic Stitch was close to ACMoore's brand. And it does feel quite a bit like it, but it says it's anti-peeling. So, I don't know, I'm going to work up a hat with this pretty purple and see. Now I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the Pipsqueak. They also, the hospital also, with the elf hats and the elf shoes, they also want some additional baby hats. So I do have some of this Christmas yarn. I'm doing that. And then also some red, and using the Pipsqueak around the last two rows, to make it a little more Christmassy. That's it for that little yarn. And then Knit Crate had their big sale. I had ordered two skeins of the Euro Yarn Silk DK in the color Enlightened, which was 85% merino, 15% silk, and it's 300 yards for each. I have a Christmas present that I have to work on, and I had gotten these for the Christmas present. And of course, I think they were half off through members. Then you used a coupon, got even more off. And for both of these, plus I used some of my stash points, and with that coupon, I think both of these cost me $13, which normally they would run you about $52. So, took advantage of that sale. Now, I'm going to show you what I got at ACMoore. My husband, in that one after I've shown you some of the yarn, you can see me tossing some things at the basket. My husband comes up with two outside doormats. Our mats are pretty worn out. In fact, the welcome has worn off of them because, you know, mats don't last long here with the winter. So we got new mats for the front door and the back door. We had looked at mats yesterday at Walmart and just didn't care for the mats that were there. So I did get two of these larger bags, and you know what I was telling you about the liquidation. Normally these bags sitting out front, very rarely have I seen them over $1. Normally they're $1 a piece. They have marked those up to $1.99 a piece with 25% off. And I knew they were going to do that, so I was okay with that. Was going through and I saw this because I know someone. This was a Christmas present for someone. And I thought, you know, that's a pretty good deal. Getting a little bit cheaper. The times I've tried to use a 50% off on these, they're pretty hesitant to use them. So, rarely have I gotten those for 50% off. Got two skeins of this pretty, what they call soft rose. It's a little brighter pink. Because I didn't have any of this color in my yarns. I always like to have two of the golden yellow on hand, and I had one because I had used one. And then I needed another of that soft purple. So I got another of the soft purple. I'll move that bag out of the way. And they had one of the medium blue. And I would have liked to have gotten two, but there was only one of these, so that's all I got of that. And then I got two of the large deep amethyst, which these are coming up blue, but they are really purple. I mean, very dark purple. So I'm not sure why the color's off on that. It may be because of all the blue and stuff around me. Never know. Did get another of that soft teal. I had used some of that, so I thought, oh, yeah, I might get another. And this color is one that I have used and already used up. And it is the bright orange. And this is really blowing out the color. It's a little darker, more towards tangerine color. And then I got 2 of the baby mix. I have another one of the baby mix, and these are just the pale greens, blues, pinks, and yellow with some white in there. I have another one that I plan on doing a blanket with, and I know that 3 is what I've used before for blankets, the babies. And then I got 2 of the antique white. This is kind of an off-white, like a cream color. So I did get 2 of those. So we spent a pretty good chunk over there. And of course, my husband's like, you don't need any more yarn. I said, yeah, but this is the last of the yarn, because once that stash is gone, there is no more Stitch Studio. He goes, yeah, and I know you really like that. I said, yeah, I really love the Stitch Studio. Let me move this bag out of the way. I'm going to pull you just a little closer. Now, before I was leaving, as you know, at our ACMoore, Joyce Rupert works in the ACMoore, and Joyce has always been a great contact person, those kind of things. And as I was leaving, she pointed out that on Creative Grandma's group page, one for her tutorials and patterns, she has a survey. She is asking other stores in our area and other areas, I believe, to step up their yarn game, because now that ACMoore is out, and I put it this way, we are in a yarn desert once ACMoore is out. You go to our Michaels and there is like one side of one row and one side of another, and they're not big long rows like what they were at ACMoore. They're little short squatty rows, and they don't have a real big selection. Of course, if you've seen Creative Grandma when she was at the Walmart store with her grandson Brandon and they were filming, that is Montoursville's, and that a lot of people don't go into that store. It's a little bit of a different mix when you get into that store. Sometimes they have yarn. I can't believe they had that much yarn in that store, because normally they do not have that amount of yarn stock in that store. But that is the one that's probably the closest to Creative Grandma. Yeah, from where she lives. And the store that's in Mill Hall, it is less stocked than that store, and it always looks like it's been pilfered through. Skeins are all over the place, and half the time there's maybe 3 skeins in there, maybe 4 or 6. But if you're going in to do a large project, say an Afghan or whatever, you can't purchase everything you need at one store. And if 2 or 3 of you are going in together, you're not going to get enough to get anything. So what the survey is for is to ask Target, Walmart, Michael's, all those stores around there to up their yarn game and to bring in more yarns, specifically Premier yarns. And I agree, I like Premier yarns too. So I'm hoping that everyone that hears this will go fill out that survey, join her group, so that you can fill out the survey. And it's a campaign she's starting, and it's a great idea. It really is. It's just sad. I have continued to work on some of the other things for the baby's items that I need to get done. And then I've got 2 projects that I need to work on for Christmas presents. And then I need to get on these whips that are over here at the side of the chair, because I've got a gazillion of them, and I want to get those done out of the way. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf to where I don't have 27 whips going at once. I only have 1 or 2 at a time. We'll see how that goes. You know, I do have craft ADD, so I can't always stay on one subject, one project. So I am steadily, trying to change that about me so that I am able to get more projects done in a timely manner instead of it taking several months. Let's see, the only other thing I wanted to say is, I had planned on getting those bags up in my Etsy store Friday evening. After I put the video up, I got chilled, put on my jacket, threw the blanket over my lap, thought I'm just going to close my eyes for a minute. 3.5 hours later, I woke up. So needless to say, they are now up in the shop. Oh well, stuff happens. Okay guys, go over, fill the survey out. Let's see if we can get a little more yarn in some of these areas, because the whole reason a lot of people went to online shopping is because you can't get enough in the stores. I mean, sometimes I wonder they don't realize what they do to themselves. And then they say, well, we don't carry that kind of yarn because nobody shops it. Well, nobody shops it because you don't have it available. And I will say in our Walmart, normally the yarn is there, it goes pretty quick. But like I said, they don't stock enough to fill it quick enough so that when someone comes in and takes all the blue, that you have some blue to get when you come in. It seems like it takes weeks on it for them to fill those little shelves back up. So, yeah, let's hope. All right, everybody have a great day. I will see you again tomorrow. And remember, be kind.